I can't believe how much easier this one move makes the downswing, and that's having your club continuously trail your right shoulder going through the golf ball. Now this move will fix your fat shot, resulting in good crisp strikes. It will also fix your slice shot, resulting in straighter ball flights, and it will also help you rotate better, fixing that stall and flip of the hands going through the golf ball, so that will result in some much better dispersion and power. So this is the feel that a lot of golfers are continuously searching for to get the rotation into their golf swing. It is, in my opinion, the only feel you can really have that gets you turning through that golf ball, because it is the hardest part of the golf swing to turn through. But if you get that right shoulder and make sure it's always ahead of that club head coming into the shot, you can see it how it will automatically rotate me in both chest and hips. So it's something that is so awesome. I'm going to show you a drill at the end of the video as well to really ingrain this in, but it's not what we see golfers do. We will see golfers always have that club head winning the race to the golf ball, so it quickly passes past that right shoulder coming through impact, resulting in a ton of different bad shots. But for you to understand this better, let's go from a side by side here of doing the move, right shoulder beating the club to the golf ball, and the opposite next to it, having the club head beat the right shoulder, and see what they look like from both angles. And we'll talk about it and get into a drill afterwards. So guys, let's dive straight into the analysis here of what to do and what not to do. So let's look at the right shoulder beating the club head to the golf ball swing. So we're going to notice some really good things happen here. So this is my main feel I'm having in the downswing here. So you can see coming through that downswing, club shaft is looking nice and shallow. But the main thing I want you guys to look at going through the golf ball here. Look at the rotation of the body. It is completely smooth. Look at that chest rotation, how it's just continuous going through the golf ball. There is no big stall out there. So if we zoom in a little bit, we're going to see one really good thing. We're going to see how the hand path is nicely exiting left around us. So you can see how those hands just disappear. So that's that passive release movement of the hands. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just continuing and keeping the rotation going through the shot, and the club is going to follow the rotation. So that's one big thing. But why does that even matter? It matters because of what it does to this here, the club face. You're going to see how the club face is moving extremely stable going through the shot. The rate of closure of that club face is very, very minimal. So what that means is we're going to deliver a nice square club face vast majority of the time, and a way higher percentage coming through that golf ball. If we are keeping that club face square to the arc, it's going to remain square to the arc, as we can see here. So that means your dispersion of your shots are going to be way tighter, so that's going to be improving your scores. That's all due to the rotation. This feel is encouraging. You could also see here, look at how that club is traveling. Look at here, for example. See how that club shaft is going right through my right forearm here. So what that is telling us that club is moving perfectly on path. So it really encourages good club path, because if that club head is trailing that right shoulder, the club is not going to get too far out in front for you slices of the golf ball players out there. You know, your over the top swings, it's going to be very hard to do that with this, almost impossible. And because it encourages great rotation, you're also not going to be struggling with dumping the club on the inside. So a very, very good feel indeed. So let's now have a look at what not to do here. So we are having the club beat the right shoulder to the golf ball. So a lot of golfers who have active arm swings, this is you, or have a stall out and a flip. So if we look here, so I still managed to shallow the club shaft, which is good. That's my natural shallowing move. So you can see here immediately the club shaft in a path sense is a little bit more on the outside. You can see how it's just above that right forearm. So immediately here, just a little bit more on the outside. For some golfers who really will be a lot more so on the outside, but more so than anything, look at coming through the golf ball here. See how that club does not want to exit to that left. So that's because the rotation, as you can see with the body, has completely stalled out here. So if we have a little look now at the club face, we remember what it was doing on the opposite here. It was having that really good, nice, stable rotation. But look at here. Look at all that club face closure, those hands whipping over. Because if the rotation isn't leading the swing, what's going to happen? You're just going to roll and you're going to flip the hands. So that means one shot you might hit good, the other shot you might hit bad, the other one you might hit it completely the opposite direction. So this is the definition of army golf, this swing. So you're going to be left, right, entire time playing your round of golf. So that's why you need to keep your rotation nice and solid going through there. If not, you're going to have a big hand release going through the golf ball, and that club face is just going to be square for a split second. That's why you need to turn a little bit more like this one here going through the golf ball, having that right shoulder beating the club to the golf ball, because that club face rotation is way better. And I tell you what, that one will get you playing better golf. So let's have a little look at the front on angle to see the benefits this is going to make to your ball striking and your ball and turf contact, and a little bit of shaft lean benefits as well. So again, on the left here, let's look at that good one of having that right shoulder beating the club to the ball. Again, this is very much a feel, because you're going to see here, the club is generally going to beat the right shoulder to the ball, but that's the feeling we're having going through there. Feel isn't real in the golf swing, and that's certainly the case with this. But even here, getting to shaft parallel to the ground, you can see it how those hands are almost on top of the golf ball there. That's because the rotation is so good, and this encourages good lateral shifting as well. So then that gets you into a position here when you're at shaft parallel to the ground. Those hands are on top of the golf ball, where you can just have a little brisk turn and you get here. Nice little bit of shaft lean with those hands ahead of the golf ball. Again, I'm not trying to physically create that shaft lean. It is the rotation and the good lateral shifting that having the right shoulder beating the club to the golf ball is giving me. That's why I said this is going to be a feel that so many of you are going to be able to play really well with and really create this good rotational move that you've been struggling to create. Absolutely awesome. So if we have a little look here at what not to do, the club is now going to beat that right shoulder to the golf ball. So we're going to see immediately here, see how my body's starting to tilt back a little bit? That's not going to be good for our striking. And that's a little bit different there. If we go all the way to impact again on the good one, we can see where the hands in relationship to the golf ball here. Pretty much behind it, where the hands in relationship to the golf ball, and what to do in front. So it tells you compression is going to be completely different with these two type of shots. So we can see very stereotypical cast. Look at all that roll and rotation. That is not going to be good for your golf scores. So that's of the wrists. So not great. And one more thing to note here, guys. Have a little look at this. I'm going to draw two lines through the middle of the body. This is going to tell us again our shifting in the downswing. Let's look at the good. So you can see head still stays pretty much on the center line. You can see how the body has shifted there. See how the right leg, that line is going through the right side of it, and how it's going through the right side of the chest as well. That means the low point is going to be after the golf ball. The low point is more in line with where the left pec is. So that means ball and turf contact. Let's have a look here on what not to do. Wow, that's a difference. So you can see head behind the line, on even slightly in contact with it. And you can see where's the left side of the chest is going through the center line. So that's going to mean the low point is going to be roughly around here. And hitting this shot here, I remember I hit slightly behind it. That's because those arms beat the club, or beat the right shoulder to the golf ball. That club head did, and then I'm going to struggle with low point control. So absolutely, if you want a consistent swing that's going to create good club path, good low point control, and good rotation, this is the exact feel to do. So let's get to the drill now. So the drill is a really, really cool one, because ultimately how you're doing this is it's not even focusing on the right shoulder, but the right shoulder has to work the way we want to be able to achieve this drill properly. So this is a very, very common drill, but our intent's a bit different. So this is where we have an alignment stick. Put the alignment stick up the left-hand side of the golf club to where a lot of it comes up here. So a lot of you who, let's say, early release and cast, you'll be very familiar with this. You've got to swing through and make sure this stick doesn't hit your side. But to do that, and to really achieve that good, you need good rotation. What gets good rotation? Having that right shoulder being ahead of the club head. Look how far away that stick is from me if I really get that feel. It will never in a million years hit my side. So for a lot of golfers who already have practiced this, trying to, let's say, get more compression, which of course this does as well, this is going to be a way to really get it there, because this is one that a lot of golfers massively frustrate themselves with. But let's make sure that we're having that right shoulder staying ahead of the club head, and this is not going to hit our side. Boom, there we go. So again, not hit our side through impact. It will always hit our side as we're in our finish, as we get fully extended post impact. So of course, that's how our swing is going to be a little bit slower here than it will be going through the golf ball. So you're not going to feel all too much pain, and start with some half swings first. Right shoulder always ahead of that golf club. There we go. So you can see just some more smaller swings, and then when you feel comfortable, you can really bring that swing length up with that same feel. There we go. And you can see from a slow motion there how well it gets you rotating. So again, let's have a look at this one. Boom. So nice passive release, got that good nice rotation, solid smooth rotation going through there. This just forces you to do it, because if you don't do it, what's going to happen? If you let that club beat the right shoulder, you're going to quickly hit your side. So it's a brilliant, brilliant drill to do. So of course, once we've done enough of this drill, we'll get a very, very distinct feeling. The drills create the feels. You can't really get a very extreme feel without doing a drill. So that's why it's just going to aid and embed that feeling and even more of what that right shoulder feels like to lead the club. And boom. There you go. I mean, you'll be just hitting nice rotational shots again and again and again. So absorbing that same feel from the drill. Boom. Awesome. So get that practicing, have a good go at that drill. Like we said, if you struggle with any of what we mentioned in the video, this is going to be a great feel for you to go and implement. It's what I do when I go and play. This is my feel I really like. So it makes a huge difference. So if you enjoyed the video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction. Just like this, hit a subscribe button, hit a bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.